Hello, I'm Masterful27 and welcome to my Legendary Raid guide on Rayquaza. Rayquaza might be the weakest of the three Hoenn Legendary Raid bosses, but do not be fooled by that. Kyogre and Groudon might have bigger combat powers, but with Rayquaza's combat power of 45,468, it offers a lot more in attack compared to its rivals. However, we'll talk about that more in a bit. So first of all, the numbers to look out for 100% IV Rayquaza, it will have a combat power of 2083, which is a level 20 non-weather boosted Rayquaza. With the weather boost, which is windy for this legendary Pokemon, your combat power will be 2604 for the 100% perfect IV. There are lower ones and they range from about 83% upwards, but the lowest of the low, non-weather boosted, is 1995, and with the weather boost, 2494. So those are your ranges, those are the figures to look out for when you are about to capture it to see exactly what you're dealing with. With Rayquaza, you're going to need at least 4 to 5 trainers. I think you'll need 6 to be completely safe, because the 4 trainer raid that I took part in when we did beat Rayquaza, all the level trainers were 35 and above. I'm 37, so as I can say, for those lesser experienced trainers, you're going to need at least, I'd say, 5 to 6 to play it completely safe. So Rayquaza, it has a double weakness to ice, which can be exploited, and we'll talk about that more later. And like I said previously, it is boosted by the wind. So it has the lowest combat power of the 3 legendary raid bosses from the Hoenn region, but by it, Jesus, it makes up for it in its attacking. It has the most powerful attack when you compare it to Kyogre and Groudon. A comparable other legendary raid boss, which you can actually compare the attack strength of Rayquaza to, is Mewtwo. That gives you an idea or some indication of how powerful this Pokemon actually is. So Rayquaza has one of 3 different charge moves. It has Ancient Power, Outrage and Aerial Ace. Aerial Ace is by far the weakest of these 3 charge moves. Ancient Power and Outrage are pretty powerful and can do quite a lot of damage if you have the wrong combination of Pokemon when you come up against these moves. So we're going to start off with the first situation. So basically you come up with Rayquaza and it has everything bar Ancient Power. So you come up against it and it has Outrage or Aerial Ace as its charge move. So non-Ancient Power. Best one by a long shot is Articuno. Articuno with double ice moves of Frost Breath and Ice Beam is the best combination Pokemon that you can go from. And in my previous vlog, it does make sense why Articuno scares Rayquaza. That is the best you can get in that situation. A really good alternative is Jinx. Again, Jinx with a double combination ice move, because it is double weak to ice, is also a really good option here. So you're then coming up against Rayquaza and it has every other move aside from Outrage. So basically, all these Pokemon, if it's a non-Outrage charge move. So Ancient Power or Aerial Ace. Well, the best ones here are your Dragon type Pokemon. The best one by a long shot is Dragonite with Dragon Tail and Outrage. And great alternative as well is actually Rayquaza. Rayquaza versus Rayquaza with Dragon Tail and Outrage as well is actually very, very useful. But remember, it's a non-Outrage Rayquaza. So if it's got Ancient Power or Aerial Ace, that is what you need to use. Kyogre is also a good option here with some of its water moves, but do not be tempted to use Articuno, because if it has Outrage, it will absolutely destroy it. And Articuno's ice moves will do very little against that combination and with that charge move of Outrage. The final charge move, and its weakest one, is Aerial Ace. And because of this, there are many, many Pokemon that you can use to exploit its weakest charge move. So basically, you've got it there, and it's got Aerial Ace. Any of these Pokemon will do the job. As I say, it's the easiest moveset to counter, and also one of the easiest ones to avoid. But if it does land, it isn't going to do a lot of damage, depending on which Pokemon you use. Now, the first one, and I must stress this, Jinx will not last long, but the power it dishes out means if you can dodge well, and you can actually get some of its charge moves deployed on Rayquaza, it will do a lot of damage. Frost Breath and Avalanche are the moves you want on Jinx when you're coming up against Aerial Ace. Lapras, with its double ice, Frost Breath and Ice Beam, is a really, really good Pokemon to use against Aerial Ace, as is Walrein, with its double ice move of Frost Breath and Blizzard. Like I said, it is double weak to Ice type, so take advantage of this if this is its charge move. Piloswine and Cloyster are also really good Pokemon to use against Aerial Ace. Ice Shard and Avalanche, with its double ice moves, the best that you can use in this situation. The list doesn't stop there. Kyogre, which we've also mentioned previously, with Waterfall and Blizzard, with a Water-Ice combination, is really, really good. And then we go to the Rock type. Remember, it is also weak to Rock type. Golem with Rock Throw and Stone Edge as its double rock move is a really good one against Aerial Ace. Tyranitar with its Dark Rock combination of Bite and also Stone Edge is another good one. And finally Gardevoir with its Confusion and Dazzling Gleam, which is its Psychic and Fairy type. Remember, it is also weak to Fairy type. Is also a really good counter-attacking Pokemon to use against Aerial Ace. Wow, so there's a bit of a list there. So, in a nutshell, if you get to Rayquaza and its Aerial Ace, it's a lot easier to put up a good, strong lineup of Pokemon when you're combating Rayquaza. So Rayquaza is now here till the 5th of March. Rayquaza was actually the final one of the 3 when we lost Groudon and Kyogre. And like I said, we've got to the 5th of March now, which is the legendary week for these 3. Nobody knows what will happen after the 5th of March. My feeling is that they will disappear, and who knows when they'll be reintroduced into the game. Now, I'm going to play a video alongside me, or it's probably started just now. And this was my attempt of capturing Rayquaza. Now, it's really good to watch this as part of this training guide for Rayquaza, because as you can see with Rayquaza, it moves very, very little. It has a very slight elevation and it has a very slight drop on the screen. Now, like I said, the patience is the key when capturing this legendary Pokemon. It does a coiled attack move, and normally, even if it was to launch a double attack move, so repeating that same attack animation twice, you normally have enough time, once it's completed its sort of charge attack move on the screen, for you to still deploy that ball. Now, like I say, I think it's great. Study this footage which I've got next to me. This is one I did actually when it was snowing, because like I said, we've had some really awful weather here in the UK at the moment, where we're just getting some quite blizzardy conditions. But I say the backdrop's actually really quite cool. And I think it actually looks better with the white background. But yeah, so study it, watch it. Rayquaza does this coiled attack move. It does dummy it. It'll do a very slight, almost looking like it's about to attack, but it doesn't quite. It almost has like a little pose, and it goes back, and it'll sit there, but it won't go too far up on the screen, and it'll sit around the bottom. It's nothing like Kyogre, and again, when we do my raid guide on Kyogre, you will see what I mean on there. They did improve it there, but it was quite a long way away. Rayquaza isn't a long way away. It's actually relatively close, and the throws are relatively true on it. Now, the best way, you're going to have to Golden Raspberry it. Same with all these legendary raid bosses. Use your Golden Raspberry every throw you do. You've got to, you don't have to do these curveball moves, but it does increase the base capture rate of you getting it. Now, again, with Rayquaza, if you put a Golden Raspberry on and you do a curveball, so you're spinning, and watch the motion on this video alongside me, you can see the curve on it and the sort of trajectory you get on it. It goes, you need to be hitting great balls as minimums. Great or excellent. There's a real combination. One is the Golden Raspberry or standard Raspberry. Two is this, it's a curveball or a straight ball. And then the third one is if it's a no comment ball, which means it just hits it and nothing comes up. A nice, a good, a great, or an excellent. Each one of those has a varying degree of increasing that base capture rate. Now, like I said, I've seen videos of people using golden raspberries, curveballing and hitting excellence and still not capturing it. However, it gives you the best opportunity. So like I said, study this, watch the video that I've been playing alongside me, see how I do it. And like I say, I'm not an expert, but I'm pretty good. I've got the consistency. You're going to need, again, it all comes down to gym colour, and it also comes down to damage contributed by your team. But to have a really good crack at it, and you need to keep the routine going, and you need to keep a trail going. I've noticed if you hit a great ball and it wobbles one and comes out, but you throw another great ball and it wobbles one and comes out, if you miss it on the third one and then go back to that routine, it breaks the cycle. But if you can maintain that for 3 or 4 or 5, you normally find that's enough to capture it. Like I said, the IV plays a big part on it, but you've got to make sure you're always hitting it and getting it in a situation where it might stay in your master ball. But like I say, check out the video. Hopefully you've watched enough of it to see the technique I use to capture it and give you a bit of a guide as to what to expect if you haven't encountered Rayquaza before. But like I say, these trainer vlogs are for any trainer level, of any experience. And you know what? If you've not encountered Rayquaza before, or you haven't even tried it, why not use this as the best way to get yourself prepared? Because like I said, getting there and capturing it is nerve-wracking enough. But once you're there and you've beaten it, you all have an equal chance of capturing it, which is the most important thing to remember. So, I hope you enjoyed this trainer vlog on Rayquaza. I think it's got a lot more opportunity for lesser experienced legendary raiders. The base capture rate, I say, is a little bit more forgiving than that of Kyogre, which we'll talk about in my trainer vlog for Kyogre. But enjoy it. Let me know in the comments below how you do. Please give this trainer vlog a big thumbs up if you found it useful, and give me a bing on the old bell for post notifications. Thank you for checking this trainer vlog out, and I will catch up with you all soon. Take care out there.